me to call the meeting to order?
Oh,
Sorry. Feel free to get up and fill the plate, but we'll get going since it's December. Call the meeting at 7:01. Presentation of the of November's minutes. Need a motion?
I think you were saying at the very end, but I didn't get a chance to read them yet. But I like how you said it ahead of time. Oh, yeah.
Laurel's motion, we have a second. Garrett, all in favor? Aye. Okay, November's minutes passed. On to financial. Just to say real quick, we talked about, as you can see, the agenda has a lot more information. We're not gonna walk through everything. We're just gonna get to things. And then if you have questions, feel free to ask away. But in order to keep the meetings down to an hour and a half, we're just going to touch upon things. So take a second to look through. If anyone has any questions, ask away. Otherwise, we're gonna.
Did everyone read the budget?
I have not forwarded. Did you forward that to everyone? Did you put the real numbers on it? You added all the real numbers?
To,
The budget for this year so far?
no, I just added
So I think with going to that quarterly, as we make decisions on fundraising and things like that, we need to continually input once we have actual numbers and look at it 4 times a year so we can make decisions on where we stand. So I think that's the point of going to see it, if that makes sense. So, why don't we do over the break, do numbers, and then in January, we'll do a half-year review for the January meeting, and then we can vote if we need to change anything or address anything. Does that make sense? Does anyone, do you have anything you want to say about financials?
No, it's all on that, pretty self-explanatory, spent a lot of money. Stop, most of yours, dues and stocks sites. Yeah, we're doing it.
We have more money than we were budgeted to spend this year. So. President's report. Or anything else for financials before I move on? It's all there. Does anyone have any questions on things that are coming up? Yep, so we had 2 teachers here that put in for the same grant. It was a $1,500 grant, which is more than, that's like classroom teachers. They weren't classroom teachers. So we didn't really feel like it was grant appropriate, A, because of the cost amount. B, that there were 2 people from the same building wanting the same thing. So A, we would have only fulfilled 1. And the fact that it was a sensory walkway for this building, which we love the idea, but with the unknowing of what's happening in this building, we didn't want to allocate a bunch of money like that without a little bit further in the school year knowing what does need to be teared apart inside the building and what isn't going to be torn apart. So I reached out to them. They have not had a chance to talk. It was Mrs. Jenkins and Mrs. Hepping, the OT here. They haven't had a chance to collaborate. They were unaware that they put in for the same thing. But they were going to and get back to me. So we had thought, PTA would love to fund that. It's not in our budget. There's a couple different ways we could do it. Theirs is the very high-end model, which is lovely. Memorial just did one for 1/10 of the price, no lie. And it doesn't look as nice as this, but it's something. So maybe we could middle ground. And my thought was, instead of using grant money for it, because there were grants we said no to this time around. We had 14 grant applications. It was great. It was absolutely great. It was nice to see that come in. We could do something in the fact of, I said, we have a spring fundraiser at the lower school, which is our Art to Remember. If they help us maybe push it, anything over what we would typically make to cover our field day, 'cause we use that one a lot to say that retrofits the tie-dyeing stuff that we do for field day. We can maybe put whatever we make over that and earmark it to this account. But nothing obviously has been set in stone because board hasn't had a conversation, and I was waiting to actually hear back from them to see if that was something they were even interested in. I put it out there to them, like, these are some possibilities, but we need to talk. So let me know when you're available, and I'll sit down and talk with them, and then we'll write something up and ask the board. That was one of the kind of out-of-the-box ways, I thought, to get something here.
What about also, we always do a school gift at the end of the year.
Yep, I thought
Rather
about
than then
that.
having, feeling like we're not allocating that money evenly between the 3 schools.
So I definitely
Just
thought
another
about that, because we do try to do a school gift as part of teacher appreciation instead of doing individual things. But $1,500 is
Right.
probably what we spend in
Exactly.
more than what we spend in for all 3. So if they're willing to come down, then we don't need to touch that fundraising money at all, and we definitely can use that as the gift here and then get creative with the other 2, because Memorial already has one, or maybe we add to theirs or something.
Where is Memorials? I haven't seen it.
It's right outside the gym, you have seen it, you were on it all
Yeah, I
weekend.
was
It's
gonna
the
say,
stars
we were
on
sitting
the,
The floor.
the
Memorial
floor.
already
Like
knows them.
hopscotch, right?
Yeah, the hopscotch and the balance
wall
beam
push-ups.
and the
Where I
wall
was sitting
push-ups.
to do the raffles, I was literally sitting next to it.
Huh, missed it.
So Steve, and it was really great, because the first thing I said when I saw it was like, woohoo, look at this cool thing that we didn't pay for.
For once.
Steve and Annie went in on it, they got it through Amazon, and then they had their OT specialist help put it into place so that it made they got the most gain out of it, because there's a lot of science that goes into it, for the kinetics and the pushback of the sensory, and I wanna say they spent like $150, $180,
Can
and
we have that as kind of like elaborate?
and this one that they picked is very beautiful and so cute. It's like ladybugs and flower. It totally makes sense at the K-2 school, but it's $1,500 for floor decals that you wax in. But then if we were to change the floor with construction or whatever, we would lose. So I just want to, I think we're all would be for something like that. I didn't think I was speaking out of turn with that. It's just making sure we do it smartly.
Yeah, decor is not the most important part of that decision.
So I want to make sure that I want one that's going to really truly work and be usable, and that's appropriate for this age group, but we also need to make sure that it's not going to get ripped up in a year for that amount of money. And then we're being frugal with our money. That's not what people are
Like,
fundraising.
can't one is wax, it's one and done,
Yeah,
can't reuse it.
I would not. I think it would wear away even more. It's not meant to be moved around, so when I hear more from them, we can have further discussion, I'm hoping in January. We did not even allocate any teacher grants towards that this time around, but that's another thing, we could put it back in the grant pool if they agree to go lower in March. And we have more say.
Yeah. How does it work if we wanted to help them? I'm not saying we do, but if we were like, yeah, we want to do this, is there a way we can fundraise to help them towards this? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes, so I think because it's not in our budget and it's not on our radar, I thought we'd take a fundraiser that we normally do, that we already have scheduled, push it, get really vocal about it, and say why. This is why we do this fundraiser. This is where we our goal this year is going to be X, because we are hoping to allocate the surplus towards this event. Moving forward. Or, and if it's something we want to install over the summer once they're done, a lot of the aid, because supposedly, There will be a lot of work done in this building if things go kosher the way that they're planned at the moment. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Benson, on ADA fixing in this building over the summer for the fall. So if we wanted to put it in our budget and say, we're saying yes, but we're not going to install until that gets done, we'll do it in late August, then we just put it in the budget and it is a thing. But when we put something in the budget for one school, it's that whole sibling thing, just be careful, then you're gonna be putting stuff in budgets for other schools.
Maybe what we should do is push back on it and say, let's down. You can get this to the right 50% of the cost, then we will work on getting it the right.
And that's kind of what I did, I kind of,
Should do it for like 10%.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that half of it is pretty fair.
and that's what I tried to say, I said, we wanna see this happen, but we're gonna need to be creative, that's a lot of money, it's not in our budget, so much money, it doesn't really qualify as a grant, this is a school project. And I'm willing to take this fundraiser and go above, or do this and go, but we need to have a conversation, I think it's only fair that we have a conversation, so.
But we can't do it until that's exactly.
Yeah, I really don't think it's smart to put anything down this year until we know exactly, unless Ben can tell me that hallway, like, they pick a hallway that's not gonna be touched at all, then,
But it needs to be in a hallway that all the children use.
Yeah, I was gonna say, a lot
So
of
you
these
can't just
hallways are
say
just kindergarten
That,
first.
because you only want everybody to utilize the benefit of the sensory experience.
Get better off with it.
And if
And-
that's not your hallway, then you wouldn't want to.
and well, and I think it's going to be, cause it was the gym teacher,
Yeah.
She's
and-
got, like,
and
right
OT,
alley right
Yeah.
there.
and OT who services everybody. So I really think they're gonna put it probably by the tree is what I'm thinking in that
Which
central
makes so much
spot.
sense, yeah.
But again, I know they're doing bathrooms, so there's a bathroom across the hall from that. That's one of the things they need to address is some of the bathrooms in this building and the thresholds, which makes me think they're gonna be touching tile.
Doesn't make sense to do it. In the best case, it's gonna get scratched.
So again, whoever's running the show, you wanna put it in the budget for next year, I'd like to say definitely sooner than later, that's why I was getting creative with, well, I know we have this, maybe we can harp on that one better, just trying to think outside the box and offer some different ideas to make things more. Does that seem like fair, am I out on a cliff?
I'm trying to find how much. That Kate's
And try to see how much more.
I feel like we only usually make a couple right now.
Right, we do only make a couple grand on Art to
So, yeah.
Remember, and it only pretty much and our whole thing with it is, well, that one doesn't get looked at as much as a fundraiser because we're selling kids' memories.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody looks at it.
So I don't mind harping that because we're not unloading on people, and I don't wanna do too many fundraisers, so I'm not looking to do an additional fundraiser.
Is there any way that could be colored? That seems inappropriate. Colorado's very kinetic.
Right, but the color run I feel has a very middle school, and we do it at all the schools, but I feel because it's at the middle school, it's very middle school centric, and maybe I'm wrong. Art to Remember is in this building, and it's something for this building, so if we push it, because normally we just send the flyers home, and we don't talk about it much more than that. But if we give it online presence and we really back this one, I'd say anything over what we typically make, we could earmark towards this project. So in good faith, we have money already this year going towards this project.
I agree with you on that. I do also think that no one should care just about the school that their kids are at, or, you know what I mean? And
Agreed.
for my part, I just, feel like the whole point is to benefit all kids.
Yep. PTAs
That
for
should-
all children.
Exactly, and that should, people should know that going through our heads.
Okay.
And that's one of those things.
Yep.
We're all in this together, but that said, I get what you're saying too.
It might be something for us to help push Art to Remember to like give us, because we have pictures of what it could look like. new and exciting. I feel like we only do a couple of grand because it's our to not like we're at that point with that particular thing. I don't know.
Well, part of the thing, and this is what is trying to revamp it for the fifth graders. And thanks to actually Mrs. Olson, I gave her an idea, but I don't think Mrs. Merrill understood the idea. So, like the kids that actually did it, I noticed a lot of their parents thought, and they liked it, and it was cool. But then Mrs. Merrill's kid did it. So I feel like I can communicate better with the art teachers.
Maybe
And we can make
something
it
how
exciting
they're
for the
really
kids.
jar
and get the
every
kids
single year.
And the kids, because by fourth and fifth grade, they're like,
Right.
this again. So, but if we make it something fun and different and they're excited about it.
I want the
then they're
parents'
gonna-
faces about it because we do it around Mother's Day at Park Up, that it could be a good Mother's Day gift.
Yeah, so I think if I get the kids excited, when it comes to the teachers that, what's that, but it was almost.
I know, I don't.
You're good.
I was just thinking, what if you spoke to the actually about it, a sort of secondary contest, where, basically like it's a contest, where you can incorporate that, and you can, kind of like here, where make shirts, or whatever, with that design.
Maybe. Let me talk to them and have that conversation with them before we try to break. Yeah.
Because each class does like their own design.
That's,
If you can come up with a good fourth grade design, fourth grade design is the worst. It's just like, well, it's the one that kids like dislike the most. Like we found it possible better for the fifth grade, but the fourth grade is still like, what is it, outer space or something?
Starry Night,
Start,
is that your Starry Night?
no, it's
No,
not that
fourth
cool.
grade.
I promise you, it's not.
fourth grade, it's like make up your own alien.
Yeah, it's like a combination, and funny, it's funny, I just put that ornament on the tree yesterday, and I was like, what in Jesus is this? It was like a wolf with wings and hands with blood on it, I was like, oh, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's like your own villain or something.
Cece 2019, I'm like, oh, that was amazing. I asked her what it was, she goes, I don't remember.
Yeah, so
It's horrifying.
I'd like to, well, we'll get to fundraising in a minute, but that starts some fundraising talk. Let's not try to problem solve this tonight. Yeah, no, but it's a great conversation starter. I think I need to talk to those two staff and see if their hearts are really on the $1,500 model or not, right? Like, I think that has a lot to do with this conversation and what the price is gonna be. Because if it goes to 150, I bet you with some backing on the art to remember, it wouldn't even be a question, okay?
For 250, I mean.
Right,
We
so-
just do it.
But again, it's a conversation with Mr. Loy about building renovations, it's a conversation with them, cause we wanna be smart, you know, we want people to fundraise in good faith that we're doing what's best with the money, so.
Do you know the backstory behind the grant? Did she write that in her grant application? The backstory behind the grant is, there was a team of teachers last year that were part of the master's program, and they had an opportunity to write a grant for something in their school. Instead of just writing it on paper, like, you know, facade, they actually wrote a grant and got a significant amount of money for their sensory room that they're doing here. So with that said, this is probably an additional piece to what's already been, purchased and bought, but hasn't been decided on yet by place where it's gonna be in the building. So I think this is like the next layer to what they're trying to establish here. And so, the equipment they looked at may be coming from where they ordered the first round of stuff from.
Right.
I'm just assuming,
Yeah.
I don't know. Because they did earn a significant amount of money,
Which is
which
great.
is phenomenal.
Yeah,
So I'm just thinking they probably are now going to try to embellish it what they already started.
yeah,
So it's
and,
not like a one-time thing. This idea had been planted last year. The seed, so they're really excited about it.
and like we said, I think we all really wanna do it
Right, I
and
think
see it
it's time to
happen.
pause.
And I think it's totally
Yeah.
appropriate for
Yeah.
this building, it's just, this building keeps getting in that limbo state, and we can't move forward. Cause it's the same way with the playground, right, so like, I wanna be, yeah, seriously, but again, I'm glad we didn't go put a playground in if you're gonna rip it up, like, that would have been so sad, so. It is what it is, VP is open, special ed liaison, you did not put anything in the agenda, do you have anything to report?
I'm just gonna say that one way or another, we're gonna do a presentation on the two different kinds of state tests that kids take. So some take what's called a DLM, so it's a dynamic learning math, and that's for some children with special needs that have significant disabilities. And then the SAS, which is what most of the population starting in 3rd grade takes. And so we want to do a presentation that just shows the difference to parents. Maybe they don't know what their kid is really taking, and also let them know, like I just opted Ryan out of his at the end of last school year. And so if they choose to do that, because they need to know like what it's measuring. So I found out, like for Ryan specifically, that it wasn't measuring what I thought it was, so then we opted to do something different, but just to kind of give the information to the parents. And not all kids with special needs take the DLM, many of them take the SAS, it's only a little limited population, so.
Yeah, they've changed who can take what over the years. When I was a special ed teacher, that map window was a lot bigger, and they keep cutting down who can opt that versus that.
First it
Yeah.
was like portfolio, and then it was teachers got to make their own and transcribe them all themselves.
Yeah.
And then it switched to this, so just keeping parents in the loop. And I've been trying since June to get somebody to do it. And I by accident ran into somebody yesterday who ignored my Facebook message in June, but she's not ignoring me now. So whether they do it or whether I'm just gonna educate myself and do it, but we're gonna do it.
So just a suggestion, I know that Chris, Marge, and Meg Larky, they'd be happy to do that. All three of them. And Meg's the district accountability assessment, and Marge does all the presentations, and is most connected obviously with the DOE and all of that. And then Chris would certainly do that, or Marge could do all three of that with her background. So you might want to, for your ease, just to find someone.
Yeah, we're trying to get somebody from the Parent Information Center, somebody a little
Okay.
neutral
So,
to come
yeah,
in.
yeah, I'm just saying, but
We
it,
did try the DOE too.
okay,
and
the DOE wasn't helpful? Well, they're very short-staffed, as you know that.
the person actually left, and it didn't say
Yeah.
that when I sent her the email, it didn't bounce back.
We've had a few issues with sending stuff, like I
So-
submitted that to so-and-so. Oh yeah, they're done 3 months ago.
Yeah, but we were trying to get a more neutral place, only because we didn't want parents to think like, what's in it for the district? Like,
Yeah.
are they really?
Especially around special ed.
Yeah,
Right?
and I get it, and if there's someone, I mean, I know, reach out to Marge. Marge may even have someone that's just a recommendation
That's
of
not a
that,
bad idea.
too. That's something.
She
And
might
someone
actually
who
have
isn't
an
gonna
in with
make
the
it
DOE.
super dry.
Right, and Marge would.
Some people.
Yes. Yeah, you want someone that's engaging, who's knowledgeable, right,
Right.
yes, absolutely, so. My suggestion would be to reach out to Marge, because she does have the biggest web of contacts.
I will.
That if you're looking for neutral, I get
Okay.
that, totally get it.
No, she is a good person. I will, I'll reach out to her.
Perfect. Secretary, any questions for the secretary? I'm gonna talk about what we can afford for that book. You and I can talk after this and get that done. Megan, you're up. Anybody have questions for Megan and on our awesome grant she got us? We'll be looking for help, I'm sure, that night, right?
Yes. Yeah, we haven't gotten it yet. So last year we got the Mount Night grant and we did pizza. And then when we did the Facebook event at Caldwell, we did sandwiches and potato chips, desserts. We have $4,000 to spend.
Chicken tenders.
And the thing is, so they provide us, because I had said to Jillian originally, well, a lot of that is going to be taken up by the handouts for the night. But they supply us 100 families worth of these handouts. That's cool. Full color, the whole 9 yards.
Beautiful, that's a huge part of the budget right there.
Yeah, and we still have the big,
Post-it notes.
Post-it note posters. We only use like 2 sheets out of each one, so we already have those. So there's really no expense to spend. So somehow we have to spend $1,000 on
So I say good Dura prizes, we need to get really eventful, like really out of the box with them and creative, because that's what gets people to come in. And then we've done zero cheese and pizza and they were equal,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if it's the food though, I mean chicken tenders might get you some people.
People without kids are gonna be showing up. I don't know, chicken fingers.
I kind of like the idea, I mean, I'm a big fan of, you know, if we get grant money from National PTA, spending it in our own community, sounds like an awesome idea to me.
Backroom's always been really generous to us, I'd like to go to, we go to the companies that are good to us type of deal, so.
Yeah, and they would, I know that they would do it again, because they're amazing, so we can buy it from, yeah. You pay for them, right?
Would it be appropriate to do another Chromebook giveaway that night? It's kind of thematic. and we'll get
As a
people-
computer internet safety thing, I
Exactly.
think a computer makes sense there, or a tablet of some sort or
For
something,
$150,
yeah.
these things aren't exactly breaking the bank.
Yeah.
It gets people more.
Yep, I don't think that's a bad
That's a great
idea.
idea. This would be more memorable than food, you don't have any specific items for food, but we could advertise.
And we're doing it at Memorial, we're inviting the middle school, but it's more at the Memorial push, so those kids haven't been offered free laptop yet. So that's a good way to look at it too.
We should do a poll afterward. What made you come? Free computer?
There you go. Okay.
Well, hopefully it's the content.
Poor Megan.
I mean,
Hopefully it's the event itself.
don't put that on the poll if you don't want to know the real
Care about
answer.
Right, usually quick. Anyway, we haven't gotten to the nitty gritty of planning that, but I just tossed it out there, but those are really good suggestions.
Just,
Speaker? Or do we already have the concept that we need to do that? Yeah, it's gonna be pretty hectic with just this curriculum that they've given us, and they're a little bit touchy about that.
well,
Do we need to get would it be good to get different people in to do it like we did for Facebook, so should we be contacting the PD?
Yeah, I think so, definitely.
Do you wanna reach out and get, because
After the holiday.
right, because it's not much time if you think about it, if we're doing it like February or something.
Yeah.
So you wanna reach out to them sooner than later.
if you can, any materials you have or anything like that, get it to me, so we can get that, on the website too. So, it's not on the website, Facebook. Graphics, you want to help, obviously,
Okay, you good? Laurel?
Yeah, the fundraising gift cards are dismal,
Really?
horribly sad. I'm hoping. I'm not a robot. Okay, never mind, I can have a front update. Yeah, I mean, we didn't even end up doing it in 2 chunks because the 3 people that ordered before Thanksgiving said they could wait until Christmas. So, you know, we can't do this, we'll let But all of them said they could wait. The thing is, the website, I think once people find out it's there, like I know Sarah Mac is big on it, I can see why. Because it is so much easier, you can see exactly what you can buy. Like you go on there and say, okay, I want to, show me the restaurants, and it'll show you restaurant gift cards, and how much you get, and it shows the people how much we get back from it.
Yes.
Which I think is important because
That's.
depending on the brand, we don't get that much back. Like our best year on gift cards, we made $1,000 on our cut.
Oh, no, we make more than that. We easily make more than that. We make that much just in the.
maybe we need to push it back.
Are you sure?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you
I mean,
check
we've
the
been talking
budget?
For years.
Yeah. Because we
Let me-
get,
let me see if I
we
can
funnel
find
a lot of money in, but then we have to pay them a lot of money out.
Well,
And I didn't think our cut was very big on this fundraiser.
Well, the nice thing about this one is, because people can buy by gift card, or buy by credit card, I mean, or they can send in their checks. So all they're doing is saying, okay, you've already paid us this much by credit card, so you only need to send us this much, and this is how much you made. Like, we've already made over $1,000, and it's crappy. I thought it was crappy, maybe it was crappy.
No, I'm not, I swear to God, because this is my thing with this fundraiser, back when we used to do it paper, is we would get the before Thanksgiving chunk would be like $13,000, we get all excited, and then the Christmas chunk would be like $18,000. But then we'd make $1,000 when we were said and done, because we were only making 1, 2, 3%
Yeah,
on
we
the
have about
cards.
$1,000 looking at the past.
Yeah,
We
so
have about $1,000.
we only get $1,000, which is why I'm really happy we're going strictly online with this, because our time
Yeah, really.
Our
haven't taken
time
enough for
in
us.
making those envelopes up and sending it to those people, that takes money off the you know what I mean, like, and don't beat yourself up, we're sitting okay this year.
Well, plus, this is the easiest fundraiser ever. I mean, there's nothing
It's
to
all
this.
self-sufficient.
Yeah, it's self-sufficient, and like Sarah even asked me, can I keep buying throughout the year? And I was like, sure, just let me know if you send a check in. I'll go grab it and we'll get them shipped out to you. Like, sure.
Yeah, bear in mind, I just wrote $11,000 worth of checks this month, and we have $32,000. Not counting, actually, no, I'm sorry, we have more like 36. Because there's online transactions that have been transferred in there, and we have the, and then we have the playground.
I just don't feel like I'm still doing my job.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just saying, you're doing.
We understand that, but
Just don't stress it.
Yeah.
It isn't as high as we
I'm-
hoped this year, but I see what you're saying,
The
that why
most-
isn't it is the question, right?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Well, and I think people think we make a lot, and I think you guys do, because I think you guys see the big number all the time, but we don't make the big number, it's you know,
I
we
think
gotta
with the
cut.
website, it's nice,
Yeah.
because you can choose the card that you want that gives the most percentage back.
Which is
You
really
can
cool.
really see that.
And I like that, because I
Yeah.
think people will then opt, maybe if they're swaying between 2 different gift cards,
You're
they'll
gonna
go for
pick
the
the
gift
one.
card which gives us the bigger cut, which is nice. We could never do that the paper form way, there's just
I
too
think
much information.
I think part of that is
And it changes.
we
It
should,
does every year, it's different offerings.
we should be a little bit more proactive, I think, prior to these events, in fundraisers and whatnot, and at least me and you talking, about how we can push this on Facebook and our website and whatnot, because we could have gone into that more and explained, this is why we should do it, this is what it does for us, like,
We need to do a better job
do a
of
better
saying,
job.
this is how much we earn on fundraisers, and this is why we're fundraising, this is what we're hoping to do with this money.
Yeah.
We're looking at 5 fundraisers right now this year, 5, and we shouldn't need to, because look at the money we have. So if we're gonna tell people, thank you, we did a fantastic job on the color run, and then turn around and have a following year of 5 fundraisers,
the problem is not everybody does the same fundraiser. You might get one family does the gift cards, one family does Meadow Farms. Like, I'm gonna put something on the next thing that goes out, and it's gonna say, we're sorry if it seems like we're sending out a lot, but a lot of people, not everybody likes the same thing. And we're trying to
I don't
reach
think we
the
need to do
different
that,
people.
I don't think we need to.
No, but I don't also feel like you think you need to hit everybody either, because if they don't feel like they're gonna buy something at some point, then our direct drive numbers might actually go up, because they're not feeling like they're hitting us somewhere else.
Truck drive doesn't do anything.
If we did like something for everyone, kind of to get at what you're saying, is that, you know, this is where our money comes from, just like a pie chart, like, you know, color run and this and that, and just say, you know, we have a variety of events to try to hit the interests of our diverse community, whatever, like, not everybody's a runner, you know, not everybody's, I don't want any wrapping paper, like, you know what I mean, like, things like that, but.
And
I
that's
think a
exactly.
generic pie chart to showing sources of income.
And where it goes.
Yeah.
Without necessarily, in terms of percentages, rather than dollar.
Yeah,
figures.
percentage, I think it would be
Yeah.
really
Don't think
great
we wanna put money.
I agree
No.
with the percentage.
percentages, and I'd love to put something out mid-year, we're mid-year, right? That would make a lot of sense to do in January. Thank you guys for the awesome start of the school year, this is where we're at. If you haven't contributed, look what's coming up, you know, push what's coming, right? Because you're gonna be doing something at the beginning of the year when we come back. So maybe in part of that, we explain, this is why we're yet doing, because I feel like yet doing another thing, and I'm the president, so if I feel like that, there's gotta be community members that
Well,
feel
that's why
like
I feel
that.
political.
We're also doing a great job of saying like, hey, we could use some money, but then when we do something, we don't always do our horn enough about it. Like slapstick science, that's like everybody's favorite thing, and most people don't know it's.
The teachers did a fantastic job putting it on their class dojos, their reminders and stuff that the PTA sponsored
Oh,
it.
yeah, but I mean, through our channels, we can just say like, here's this thing we're doing, we're really excited about.
Got it.
Not to remember.
Well, and I tried to put the poll up to get people to
Yeah.
realize we funded that.
And like
Yeah,
the,
I think I did, I think I put like, it was like $4
Well,
grand.
that's I'm on the board and that's surprising, I don't know how much that.
Brain Games is over $6,000 for us to bring in Brain Games in
So I-
January.
I do think.
So
that-
these assemblies are really
like a
expensive.
picture that makes people realize,
Yeah.
that was great, or it was the trip to State was that great.
Project, yeah.
Yeah, like that's probably very pricey too, like I think if people realize, okay, you know, this is what.
It adds up, we're giving 1,000 to each grade level, plus all these, the teacher grants are $5,600 we spend a year. Yeah, so we're over $13,000 on just those two line items.
I think a picture, because, you know, words, people don't, you know, people see the graphic, they see the colors, they see the
Yeah, we
picture.
talked about that this summer, going very picturesque. So, okay, maybe you two could work on
I
something.
think Facebook is really good for that too, because
Yeah,
Facebook, they
quick
see it, you know, we have to be careful, I think, about the pictures and the emails, just because, I think our emails are a little bit too saturated, newsletters, like, there's so much going on in there, and I'm trying to keep it minimal, but also not at the same time, you know what I mean? I'm trying to have the info in there, but at the same time,
I agree with Facebook because it's one quick post, like it's just a, oh, neat, look at the graphic, move on, like it's not like you have to read the whole newsletter, or anything. Not that it's.
and I think changing the website constantly is something also, because
Yeah,
I'm
you
seeing
have to
the
be
hits.
timely on that, yeah.
I'm seeing the hits, and people go to the website and they see the current thing we're doing. So that definitely helps.
I think the other thing to keep in mind too is that what appeals to us, especially to Laurel, that we do a lot of fundraising, I don't necessarily think that the membership feels that. Like if you were to talk to people about the color run, everybody had a blast. Like I don't necessarily think that people are like, oh, it's another fundraiser. I mean,
Right.
everybody
Fun
is
is just
family
a fun
event.
event.
They don't say that, so I asked the membership, we pulled it this summer, and fundraising didn't come up. Like National tells us, we're known as the fundraising machine. It doesn't come up in our community, I just want us to be very present so that it never does come up, you know what I mean?
Right, I personally saw like the middle there and I remember, I never really thought it was a fundraiser. I just
Oh,
thought
I don't sell it as a fundraiser.
Right,
yeah.
So
And
it's
it's
not a
just-
fundraiser.
Go to where it's just like a fun, cool little thing that we do by the DPA, or like
That's the easy stuff.
the fundraiser, like the Meadow Farms.
But if we do a
I
good
never
metal,
even knew it was PTA. You know what I mean? Like I always thought it was school.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's- it's-
and maybe we should think about years that we're sitting pretty, like a year like this, if we have a good color run, and we have a good fall one, maybe we don't do some of the littler ones. And give people a break. Then they'll say, well, where was that? Haven't we learned that sometimes when we take things away, then people are asking for them? And they do better when we break things up a little bit and don't, I don't know. My two thought is if we're working our butts off for a color run and we push a fall fundraiser, then maybe we don't, and gift cards are easy, as you say, then that's a no-brainer. Then then we just do Arch Remember, or we just do Fun Pop, but then we shouldn't have to throw out two in the spring.
I do want to never get the Disney tickets again. I will say.
You said no,
I-
so you're good?
Good. I hated it. And I don't know if I'm the only person who feels that way, but I feel like it's giving somebody an obligation almost.
Well, typically this year was the only year that it wasn't a raffle, so the people who entered it wanted it. This year, we ran out of time and we didn't make the money we should have made on it.
But, I mean, even in years past, we haven't made that much according to the budget.
No, I never thought we made necessarily what they were like,
What we should.
but again, it's another thing. So it goes back to what we were talking about in November about reflections or doing any programming. Let's not get stuck in the hamster wheel, like if we're gonna do something, let's do it right. And if it's just gonna be added on fluff or something that's gonna be the straw on the camel's back, don't do it. Because if it's gonna be mediocre, why bother?
It's not like you're like.
No, and that was everyone's big push this summer, was that we over-programmed last year, and I feel like kind of sitting in the same spot this year, we didn't learn our lesson. So I'm just trying to bring us, like, I always feel like I'm such a jackass in these meetings, but I'm trying to make it still fun and that everybody wants to be here and that we're not killing ourselves. That's the thing, like you don't know you're missing something or that you don't love something until it's gone.
I think you can also incorporate that though into the, here's how the event's gonna do stuff, here's why you need people, here's some of the things you can get involved in. And somebody will go, oh, I like that thing, I can get involved with that.
With the Vermont governance, some of it, quite a few people stepped up and said that last year because they wanted to see it happen, and it got,
And it was-
that's how-
it
and that's
was
how we
great.
need to do it.
which is wonderful.
And it was just as good as all the other years, like, cause I don't wanna pin, coordinators against committees against committees. It was just as good as any other year. It was totally different than years past, but it was really good in its own right, like, and that's what it needs. I don't think anyone should do anything, I don't think committee we talk about this, the board should be running any of the major events. Those should be chairs that just do that one thing so they can love it and embrace it and do it and not go, oh, what am I on to now? What's next? Okay, what did we do last year? How do we make that happen again? Because that's where we get stuck, we get overwhelmed with the board stuff. So, yeah, I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again. Fundraiser coordinator, do you have anything else? Does anybody have anything for Laura? Is there any help that you will need when we get back?
Well, I have.
I just say push on social media more. Membership, I guess our membership still, anybody have questions on membership? Did we get any from all the postcards I sent out?
I'll let you know when we come.
Cause membership hasn't been updated since before we went to conference and we got new members. I know
I
Laurel's
have to update
sister.
you once, I haven't done it.
Okay.
But we haven't gotten it.
And anything from postcards,
It's
okay,
pretty simple.
yeah.
But
I still have a little small stack, I didn't use all 100 or whatever I ordered.
we're not though, it's like 70 or 80.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
I was
so,
going to write them all though, so. you can write more words.
if people come up or think of people who maybe I didn't hit, if you're thinking of somebody, let me know, because I know who I wrote, who I didn't. And we'll send them out, and I kept them very generic, so A, we could use them next year, or we could use this throughout the year.
Could you save one to the smaller ones?
I can, they're sitting on my microwave.
You did have a really good cross-sell.
Try. It was different, didn't work, we won't do it again, but it was trying something different.
That said, really happy with our membership numbers. Like, we got 500, that was the goal. So,
Reflections.
Sorry.
You have one of your entries
Yeah,
right there.
there's an entry right here, I know, actually, I thought she had two entries.
There's one in Collin. There's one in the Collin.
Oh, and, yeah, and, one from Owen, I emailed you because, his dad took all the pictures for us, so I just need to, it is the form involved. I assume the form must be, okay.
So we have tops 4. Is that the, did it have a game system on Owens?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that is Owens.
Yeah.
So we have 3.
Owens is sitting right on the cabinet.
Yeah, I didn't want to take it on Friday because I didn't want to break it in the car type of deal. I wanted to make sure one of them grabbed it.
I have to go in Wednesday to see if there's any checks anyway. College, so I can, yeah, so it's never there, but, you guys will collect and then we'll start.
That one is,
Oh, it's
yes. I guess, Laura Bigelow happened to be there, she's kind of explaining that.
Oh, okay.
So, we would just, I'll shoot her a quick private message and just make sure that I'm not wrong about that, but she said specifically it qualifies.
Okay,
She
yeah,
doesn't
okay.
do well in that category.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was cool.
Really cool.
So we have 3 entries, which is great. So we're going to use the break. You guys, somebody's going to use the break and brainstorm what we're going to do for an exhibit. 'Cause we don't have a room, or a place. Though we have a new business in town that's offered to at least showcase it in their window. So Marianne's got all the info, and she's gonna talk it out, figure it out, and get it done. To do something, because I think we should do something, do it right. Natalie, do you have anything for us?
So for February and April vacation activities, we talked about it last year, and where this is my second year, I'm still kind of figuring it all out. My thought for it is not to have somebody have to be there at the locations, but just compile the list of places they can go, talk with businesses to see if there can be a discount for PTA members if they bring their membership card, or Hooksett residents, something. Just so that way we're just giving options for parents and families that are staying home. So just kind of activity ideas, whether that's paint night type thing, bowling, and just compiling a list to send out to the families.
I think that's great. I think you
Cheaper,
take,
freer option.
I think you take the library's calendar and it's macaroni
Macaroni
through
kids.
kids. Take a bunch of those and kind of smush them together and say, here are a whole bunch of local opportunities at great prices, if not
Yeah.
free, for if you're staying in town.
I bet you look for
Yes.
Although they changed names.
Oh, yes.
Electric Avenue.
Electric Avenue.
Oh, yeah, Sarah Voorhees.
Sarah's-
I'm sure, because she's been very generous. I have her number.
I know she wants to do an adult night there for us, and I think, like, it's like a, like instead of doing like a mom's prom, do an adult night at the electric arcade.
Another possibility is, I just got something on the hotel in Hooksett, they just opened up a
Oh,
pool.
yes, they just opened
And
up
they're
the
trying to
pool
drum
for
up
like
memberships and
daily,
stuff.
yeah.
So I would bet they will be able to put on there.
Laura's got something for
Do you
you.
know what I mean? I would hit them up and say, I know you're trying to drum up memberships, or I will, I don't mean you will. One of us should call and say, I know you're trying to drum up memberships, maybe you'll offer a day during summer vacation
Yeah,
as a free trial, or something like that.
Okay.
To see.
Yeah.
Another place that I know does it, because we've done it, is there's events at, it's down on Second Street, it's not even Hooksett, but it's like across from Applebee's, there's a pool in that hotel.
Oh,
They do some
Envy's.
awesome-
Envy,
yeah.
yeah.
It's like $800, it's not super expensive, and they do some cool, like neon.
So blow party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of fun, so maybe they go down for this.
Movies in the
Yeah.
pool, blow parties,
Yeah, we
they
went
do
to a
some
birthday
different
party
stuff.
there.
Yeah, we do birthday parties there.
Yeah, just trying to think of different options that nobody has to manage.
Yeah.
Once it's there, it's just,
Offer it. I think the
Both,
pool,
have
the
fun.
swimming's always been a big hit when we've offered it. Skating is a hit and miss depending on the year. Tri-Town sometimes will do
Yeah.
free skates during vacation weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything to do with pools, just put together a calendar for people. That's more than we've done the last couple of years, and I think
exactly,
they're
just
really
kind of
happy.
start getting something started.
Yep.
And then for the community parties, I did reach out to Samit to see if she wanted to do a second session. I think for me, I know we talked about restarting up Kids Making a Difference at Memorial. I think where we already have a club at Underhill, I just want to put some focus on one thing instead of trying to
Yeah, I
spread it
say,
too thin.
I say if she wants to do another session, help her out, get it, be
I
her,
was
her
thinking
person.
after February vacation, March to,
April
April.
vacation.
yep,
That's
and
a
then
good time
having
frame.
their end thing right before vacation, and then that goes over, so.
I would do that, and I'd put a poster too about Kids Making a Difference, and if nobody, because I can help you with that one, because
Okay.
I am really familiar with
Yeah.
that one, since I helped get it off the ground. But I don't think you're gonna have any takers, and maybe it just needs to go away, again, it needs to go away for a little while. If no one steps up to do it, no one steps up to do it, I don't wanna see a board member do it, because it's a lot.
Yeah.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to-
Yeah, I had Ari,
She loved it too.
yeah.
Once Marcus gets to Memorial, then that's something where I would run the club, because he would be in the club.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
But until. Perfect.
Also,
And I think Box Tops, you said the next one was starting
We do one in January when we come back, that Monday we come back to like the third week of January typically, and then we do one again in, Megan, is it March or April? April? We do 3 a year.
Okay,
Yeah, April.
just starting to think
I
of,
Yeah, April.
prize ideas.
I wanna say it's
early
on
enough.
the year at a glance calendar, and if
Okay.
it's not, then make up the dates that work for you. If the public doesn't know about it, then it's great.
What I would like to move forward with the box tops for like the prizes is just like a trophy that gets passed from classroom to classroom.
Oh,
And you
that's
write the name on the back to say who has it this time, or who got it last time, how long can the trophy stay in your classroom, because then it's more of a motivation
And
for each class.
go spec one out at Crown, because a real trophy makes a world of difference. You don't
Exactly.
even need to
Something
create
just
one, like go find a
simple,
cool one
easy.
that will work.
And it kind of gives ownership to the kids, the teacher, all of that all around. So,
Because that's a one cost item, and then yes, to emplaque it, but the emplacking, putting the name a couple times a year is not that much money. It's less than prizes,
Yep.
and what kid doesn't like trophies and bragging rights?
Do they still do that, or they try to start?
so I did keychains for Memorial and Underhill, and then we did ice cream at Colley. When I was on the phone with the person who did food services, she said there's a new policy that says they're not using food as a reward. She's like, we'll let it slide now, because it was kind of last minute when we did it. But
That's
you
been in the
know,
works for a while, yeah.
Other options for Colley, and I think the trophy is kind of like a no-brainer. It means all schools, same thing, consistent. The kids know moving from school to school, and it's easy to maintain. And you don't have to think about prizes. And half those keychains probably just got.
I don't know, yeah, the parents probably never even saw them. Who knows?
Exactly. I put them in a little bag with a card that said that they won, but. That's it.
Awesome. Mary Ann, we have your report. Anybody have any questions for Mary Ann, or anything Mary Ann would like to add? Miss Queen of the Holiday Carnival.
All there,
It's
good.
all there. Please. You heard I talked to Steve about the lights in the hallway, yeah, so we'll try to figure that out. Otherwise, we'll bring standing living room lights, I don't know, we'll get creative.
Disco balls, I don't know.
And then Mrs. Benyak, do you guys have anything to report?
Just real quick about, we were talking about we're kind of teaming up with Pinkerton and trying to expose students a lot more to just different vocations and exploring career possibilities, and even more than that, they just offer a plethora of like all different courses, and some of which the students really don't know about because there's like so many different avenues to go into. So they're really just trying to build up, especially for the 8th graders, career possibilities or just courses that they could take. And just recently, we took a really nice field trip for the broadcast students and Pop News in 7th grade. And WMUR was there and WZID. And the students got to hear like a panel of just professionals talk about their experience in communications. And then also Pinkerton and how they offer courses. So it's just really nice exposure for the students to start knowing now and like kind of searching and testing out their skills and like taking tests in a positive way of like, what are some possibilities that you haven't even thought of? So Mrs. Olson and Mrs. Tremblay have been working really with Pinkerton, and that's kind of exciting, you know, that they're just promoting that and forming more of a partnership, I think.
So I can kind of piggyback on that.
Yeah.
Really, Colley was the only one who's taking advantage of this. I have a principals
It's true.
meeting with the receiving principals to Pinkerton 2 or 3 times a year. 2 or 3 times. And last spring, they came to us and they brought up, they have this thing, the Perkins Grant. So Pinkerton had a lot of money that they're able to reimburse, basically reimburse the middle schools. And since we are, of course, that's our school of record. So basically, we've been working hard, myself, Rebecca took those kids over, but Bernadette Olson, Bill Trimmer, and Donnie Tremblay. and they have these food for thought programs. I mean, the wealth of stuff that we just don't think about in the middle school, they have all of these contacts with Department of Labor, where if we want to get a plumber in, if we want to get someone in a trade in, we're going, you know, depending on what it is, you know, the food for thought, they got their first one that Rebecca
It's
took.
really incredible because it's just exposing to students to all different possibilities, all different vocations that they wouldn't really otherwise be exposed to or even think of. It's, you know, how would you know if you didn't really have the experience, so.
We took
it's-
their survey interest questionnaire about all the 8th graders did. We're going to do the 7th graders in the spring. And so now we're able to, we have a bank of kids that we can see, okay, I think the next one is fire safety.
Yeah,
I think the next one's fire safety. Okay, so where did someone come up, you know, was there a student that came up in that, or a field that might be similar? And we can certainly do that. So it's finally that break we've been getting with the community. I know Donna Trump is taking kids to GE if we can get a bus, because there's other field trips going that day. But and then the other thing is we've got GRIT going. Caitlin Sansuaso came to me this summer from E+ and Cisco, and oh God, terrible with acronyms, but basically girls something technology. Yes, and we had 18 girls apply, only 15 could get in, and I said, that's not gonna fly. And she goes, absolutely not, we took all 18. So they'll be going down to possibly Dine, possibly Cisco, I forget the one they have in January, so it's a big thing. So, and I did get a couple calls, and I get it, from parents who have boys and say, when are you gonna be doing GRIT? And I said, well, that's the same question I asked too. I said, we're doing a lot of this pushing, and the response was, from females in the field, it's like, well, we're doing the pushing of girls, because if you look in the field, it's
there's
all
no
men.
girls, right, it's
And that's why I said, well,
predominantly
yeah, and I
men.
say.
And finance and coding.
Yeah.
So you're,
Right.
okay, all right, so, I mean, because when I take those calls as a parent,
Sure.
you know, and like, this isn't fair, Matt, that you're doing all of these programs in engineering, and you do expanding your horizons for girls, and then I ask people, I'm like, parents are upset we're not doing more for boys, and they're like, there's nobody in the field, there's no females in the field,
Yeah,
that's why it's all,
Can I
that's,
have an engineer? I'm like, you're talking to the senior.
okay, yeah, so, those are some interesting things. And I,
It could be anyone, I can bring some folks from my company, I've got 3 or 4 people based out of New Hampshire.
absolutely, we're gonna do our career day again, probably the Thursday before April vacation. And again, we try to do the fields of, you know, firemen support and policemen support. But like with GRIT, like what's a product manager? Like, I don't know what Caitlin Sansuaso, but she's a project manager. I have no idea. I'm just in a different field. And some of her responsibilities and things like that, it's amazing, you know? And so we're trying to find some really niches.
Well, not everyone can be a nurse, firefighter, or teacher, so there's other jobs in the world, we do them.
Yeah. I do have a college question specific.
Yep.
A clarification. So last spring, Kathy, I'm going to check with you, but I want to make sure, because it's kind of come to a head now in a good way. Kathy Bove told me that there's a sum of money that's $1,000 that has traveled with the current 7th grade kids, and it wasn't spent in 6th grade. Okay, so,
Needs to be spent
all
this
right,
year.
so I'm getting a lot
It
of-
has to be spent on that particular class.
okay, so I'm getting a lot that's, I'm okay. So, I told the 7th grade teachers this last spring, and they had their kids. So they do have an idea, let me just pull up the email, that they're very excited for it, but I told them I'm going to the meeting, come on, 1 second here. It is called Top Secret Science, it's an assembly. It's gonna be over $500, so I got approval from the superintendent to bring it to the school board per policy, because if it's over 500, I have to get approved. I know Kathy said this money was approved in the past, but I think Bill and I just feel right with
Yep,
just bringing it
well,
to,
and Bill wasn't part of that, so I have
and I
no
wasn't a
problem.
part of it either.
So-
I just couldn't take hearsay. Kathy's like, you know, I trust Kathy, but she's like, oh yeah, that was approved 3 years ago by the SAU. I'm like, I better get it, so that's, everything's,
You have $1,000 to spend on the 7th grade class, we've been holding on to it, so,
Yeah, I think it started when they were at Memorial.
yeah,
Okay.
it did start with the grad, like, it's been following them, and I'd love to see it used before they graduate, so we're saying this year.
Yeah, so the goal is close, it could be close to about $800 for this assembly sometime in March that we're thinking. But I just wanted to make sure before I submit this to the board, I know Jillian goes there, I don't want to turn to you and you go, what you talking about, man?
You know, that, I do appreciate that. I don't like being put on the spot when I go to a school board
Alright.
meeting.
Yeah, because I was just unsure about it. It was
Yeah.
really, like I said, I trust Kathy, but I just want to make sure that was the correct money. And if there's $200 left over, again, that can be used for,
The family that it specifically came from, we'll talk, I'll give you their names, and it should go to a club or an unified art that they're involved in. Or sports, or like if they're sports kids. Yeah, I was gonna say.
so there is, so usually, $800, $5 per kid on this assembly. If there's money over, I could say, let's take $200, I think I know the two boys, and put it towards cross-country.
Yep.
Okay, and I'll just verify that when we get to that point.
Get to that point, get the assembly, and then get us either an invoice from you, an invoice from them, and we'll cut a check.
Okay, perfect. And then just congratulations to Jillian on being PTA member of the year, and really a big thank you for the laminator. I can't tell you how thankful we are as a school.
Yes, it still works, but it
Well, I
still
can tell you, I know it's a
You see the
little,
box.
Mary Ann, I know it's a little different here, but I think we found our issue was, not saying anyone, was the amount of people using it, and I think it's different than in the elementary school. Laura has like safe keeps on that, and Regina, so we're just making sure, like,
Good, no, that's how it is here too.
it is, okay, and I think we
Yeah.
kinda got that idea, it's just accident. People
Yeah.
show up, they don't put the laminating film in. things like
Very
that.
few teachers do use it, it's mostly Jody, I think.
Okay, so, and then again, thank you for
It's a
the,
longevity.
Yeah,
yeah, and thank you again for the PTA administrator of the year. I was very humbled by that and honored, so it means a lot. So, thank you very much. So, and I had a great time, my family had a great time up there.
Great picture in the paper, by the way.
Yeah, it was a very nice
Beautiful
write-up, a
picture.
little of that, yeah, so, thank you. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you for the survey on playgrounds. We got a grant that came in and I got a box of circuit playgrounds for coding that I'm doing with the students and it's really exciting. Yeah, we could use them in several ways and it's just like basically at the end of coding where they learn electronics and like how to do that. So that's really cool. I'm really excited, so thank you.
Some Romans too, like they just said, oh, you spent X, here's more stuff.
Is that all the stuff from the fruit that I saw?
What?
That was all the stuff
Yes,
from the fruit?
yes. So cool, I'm so excited.
some happy teachers currently. I felt like Santa Claus
Oh, those
this
are
past
fun.
week.
Yeah, have you tried them?
I mean, different things, is that an Arduino or what is that?
Yeah, Adreno and then like, I guess you can use it for ways.
That's fun.
Do we have any new business we need to address tonight? Nothing. There was the whole idea of, it was on the agenda, I don't know if anyone saw it, got removed, about doing a bringing Get Fit night back at Memorial this year. We looked at the calendar and I said, yeah, and I said, Steve and I looked at the calendar and said, no, that's why we have that meeting in July to determine these things between the fifth grade talent show, the grant night, and the literacy night we're doing here in March. We decided there was just too much going on, so that got ex-named for the year, which is why it got taken down. Otherwise than that, I don't think I have anything. I'm going to call the meeting at a record 8:07.
Let the record reflect, Jill. Oh.
Well done. The whole, no women in the field thing.
Margaret engineering, she was one of 2 women in the entire building, and the way her now husband found her was, he emailed both girls, figured out which ones were in what building, because your email address and what building you're in. He's like, hey, are you the blonde who drives the white box? And that's how she got on her first date with her now husband. And that's how he found her, because she was one of 2 women in the building.
I get it, but I wasn't 100% sure why they're on all these programs for boys, but they're kind of like someone in the field, they're just like,
Oh, yeah, and then I met my husband at Cabletron too. And I was one of,
yeah.
think it's the standard process for these businesses is like standard operations is for male employees. It's not that they don't exist, it's that it's already there, like the general consensus is that that's how it's promoted, recruited.
Like just kidding, but not.
She had a tough,
So-
tough one class, so good for her.
That's
She
true,
really
I'm
got
glad they have those opportunities at the school, that's great. Which is great. I would have loved that.
I have them in the afternoon, I have 5 of them come from Carol's class, I never
When we come around the bend
so much.
for the New Year's,
Yeah.
just touch base, whatever you want to do. I know it's Valentine's Day, and
On Valentine's Day, yeah.
I'll set the.
They weren't kids I had last year for
Set
that.
the PTA.
Yep,
Okay.
that's what we did for the,
Yeah.
although I think that called.
It's,
Yeah, I can do the one for the
It's
dance, because the SROs in school. so I
Do you
can
want that on, Jill?
I'm gonna take it off and edit it after.
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow.
And so,
So it's, Heather dressed her at the library, and she uses the point system like it's nobody business. So we spent maybe $1,400 for the entire school.
this doesn't he owe you, remember we canceled
He died.
No way, you can't make this up.
I swear.
You can't make, are you kidding me? That dance must have been doomed from the get-go. Thank God we didn't have it.
Right, exactly, that's what I said. Now, weird 16 weeks separation, so apparently, he's really good friends with me. Like, their families are friends. Gotta go back. And, I've been connected with this guy for
Because I went a couple years ago, and I couldn't let it was sick.
He had this weird 16 week
About 3
separation.
kids, and everybody buy each other a book,
I hired
right?
him.
So it was like 9 books, like $100.
I was
So I
DJing
got
in
to
Florida
see
and
some
he was
amazing
And so I spent like 2 weeks talking to the guy and I hired him with the Polly and about Spirit Halloween. I get that. The guy's helping me and it goes on and things are very interesting. Carpet closet, show your mom. So the things that I knew from this DJ, and he goes, I go, what's your name? And he goes, oh my God, because you're not Jen Moyer. I said, give him a big hug. I'm like, we've been talking for 3 weeks. Exactly. So, yeah, exactly. So, horrible. Amazing guy. I mean, amazing guy. So he felt horrible about the meetings. Yeah, he was going to completely credit us for the whole thing.
And you were taking the testing.
And I was literally on Facebook one day, getting close to a color measure. So I was going to message him about that, thinking I should use it then. I'm literally looking for him, and I know condolences on his page. It happened like the day before. And I was like, I'm messaging Kathy. I'm like, am I reading what I'm reading right? She's like, I'm just talking about it right now. It's a big, horrible thing, horrible. So yeah, that's what we left. Exactly. I know. And what's not funny, but ironic is that Kathy and I were talking about it. There's a reason why all that stuff happened with the dance and with him, and like,